We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a lots of good cheer. Me, 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 mala. Me, 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 mala. Bang, down, ding, 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 loud, 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 bang, bang, ding, 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 ding. I saw Santa Claus coming down the chimney. He did not bring no toy for me. He said I was not a little baby. Bang, bang, ding, 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 ding. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Christmas comes but once a year. Let's get together and have a cheer. It is Christmas time, so let us have a nice time.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Santa Claus, do you ever come to the ghetto? Santa Claus, do you ever wonder why we suffer so? Santa Claus, when will you come to the ghetto? Santa Claus, we would like to see how your reindeer go. All year long, we've been beaten down crime. How we hold on to those hard times. We ain't gonna fight, we ain't gonna fuss. Where are the presents that you brought for us? Santa Claus, do you ever come to the ghetto? Santa Claus, do you ever wonder why we suffer so? Santa Claus, when will you come to the ghetto? Santa Claus, we would like to see how those reindeer go. See you in the papers, you're on TV, giving the toys to some big kid, wondering what happened to poor people like me. Is it because we know how to Santa Claus, do you ever come to the ghetto? Santa Claus, do you ever wonder why we suffer so? See you in the papers, you're on TV, giving the toys to some big kid, wondering what happened to poor people like me. Is it because we know how to do? Santa Claus, do you ever come to the ghetto? Santa Claus, do you ever wonder why we suffer so? Santa Claus, when will you come to the ghetto? Santa Claus, we would like to see how those reindeer go. All year long, we've been beaten down time, but how we hold on to those hard times. We ain't gonna fight, we ain't gonna fuss. Where are the presents that you brought for us? Santa Claus, do you ever come to the ghetto? Santa Claus, do you ever wonder why we suffer so? Santa Claus, when will you come to the ghetto? Santa Claus, we would like to see how those reindeer go.
Silver bell, silver bell. Soon it will be Christmas in the ghetto. Ring a ding, tring a ling.
Morning, guys. Welcome down to the Livewire. We were we're having some Christmas music as we head into the Christmas season. And this morning, I have on the program with me none other than Councillor Dan Singh, who will be talking to us a little bit about the going ons there at City Hall and what the current situation is like, how we're heading into this Christmas season. I know you guys have been seeing some cleaning happening around the city in terms of drains and that kind of thing. I assure you, it's not City Hall. I assure that, not City Hall. However, it's being done so that in the event of heavy rainfall, things are under control in the city. Before I continue, just let me apologize for disappearing on y'all yesterday. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. GPS still installing those generators, so we still having one and two blackouts here and there. But the issue is being remedied, right? So as I said, we're gonna have Councillor Dancing on the program this morning. We're expecting Councillor Chase Green as well. Hopefully she gets here in time. And we got a couple of things to finish discussing from yesterday, some T-shirt. I see some barber machinery selling and all kind of thing. I don't know. The barber shop, I guess, is no more. We're getting rid of the equipment. Morning to Kur Bridgelal, Neil Ram Lokan, Wazim, Tulsi Ram Chetty, Pam Singh, Taras O'Brien, Jane, what's going on in St. Martin? Gil Eon, Sherwin Siram, Paula Spencer, Dirk Drupal. Morning to you, Cecil Rampasad. Michael Captain, morning to you. Lance Henry, Vina Ram Karan, Keith Benjamin, Parshram Kishore, Lynette Cornelius, Rihanna Juman, morning to you, Jasmine Baldio. What? Padmore Everfrost Evans, where you see you in a long time, but you reach it. We're going on. Merry Christmas to you, brother. Ronnie Singh, morning to you. Margaret Charles, good morning to you. Stoma B. Bat, morning. Lance Henry, Krista Korpasad, Rashana Ali, morning. Everybody here this morning. So let us get into it. Let me welcome on screen none other than the infamous Councillor Dan Singh.
Infamous. Hey, Courdel, morning. Thanks for having me on. Merry Christmas to you, your family, and all your viewers. I hope all is well and it's going as well as you planned.
Bye. I just posted something on my status yesterday, Dan. I'm going to play it for the people before I leave. But my 6.5 finish, the salary finish, and the Christmas season now started. So
I hear you.
But I got stuff in the house. I got food, I got my decorations, I got a couple of gifts for a few people. And that's the best we could do. Make the best of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And make a Christmas good, despite all that going on. But talking about 6.5 and 25 one off. You're on the financial committee there at City Hall. What is going on there? I've been hearing rumors of there's currently a sit-in, or at least yesterday there was a sit-in at City Hall where the staff were not operating as they usually do. Well, oh gosh. The staff is operating a certain fashion naturally. So technically they're kind of sitting in all the time. Not all of them, some of them.
But I know, some of them. There's some hardworking staff indeed.
Indeed. So I can't paint them all with one brush. So
I agree.
Councillor, give us an idea of what is going on at the council in relation to I hear there were talks between some unions in relation to salary increases and that kind of thing, and the council's ability to, give those salary increases.
Well, the Ghana Labor Union and the GLGOU wrote us last week and gave us a 72 hours notice to implement the government's position, which is the norm I'm still a virgin councillor, but I've been finding out that that is the norm. That when the government gives an increase, it's passed on to the workers and admin and everybody there. Um, so they gave us 72 hours to give us to do the 6.5 retroactive, as well as the 25,000 one-off bonus. The 72 hours expired. They then asked for a meeting with us on Monday to, ultimatum, like what's going to go on. So we went into the meeting. Mr. Duncan, the head of the GLU, was there, and we basically we trying to negotiate, because I mean, I will sound like a broken record every time you ask me to come on this show, and I come on and I'm accountability and transparency all the way through. The city hall is broke. No matter what the mayor will tell you, and he's this and he's always this and he's always that. We're broke.
Yeah.
I am happy that people are going to pay some taxes for December, because I don't know how we pay the actual bill for December. But I diverse. Because don't let me, before I go further. And I don't want to bore people with figures and facts and this, that, just figures. But we pay $110 million a month in wages. $110 million. That represents 65 to 70% of our revenue coming in. Now, that is insanity, my friend. You can't run anything if you're paying 70% of your income going back out to salary and staff. I mean, we have 556 people on staff right now, 53, 56, something like that. So yeah, anyway, back to the union. Mr. Duncan came in, and I think we were going well. We offered a 25,000 bonus. The treasurer was there. We asked if she could afford it, which would work out to 14 million. She says yes, we can find that money. Hook or crook, we're gonna switch a few things around. And Mr. Duncan was all right, but he was insistent upon this retroactive, and I did tell him. I mean. And he views me as impartial and that sort of thing. I've known Mr. Duncan for a while, and he accepts that the council is broke and we can't pay 6.5 retroactive because we just don't have it. Because we owe GRA, we owe NIS, we owe people who will soon find out when they sue we. Anyway, so Mr. Duncan said he would take our offer back to his executive and his membership, and yesterday he decided to do a sit-in. Now, a sit-in is not a full-blown strike. It's just where, as indicated, people sit in and don't do their, because they want that is their measure of protest at the moment, a sit-in. But that sit-in affects so many things in the city. I mean, from the city constabulary not turning up to open the markets because they have the keys, from the cleaners not going and clean those markets or clean the streets afterwards. It would affect a limited amount of garbage collection because of most of our garbage collection is contracted out to Sivans and Purans and Ghana Waste Management and whatever it is.
Right.
So that's the situation we're in. So we have a statutory, extraordinary statutory today at 10 o'clock to discuss this issue. I don't know what we're going to discuss because, I mean, their situation is very clear. They want their money. And you can't be upset with people for wanting money, especially at Christmas time and are retroactive. They've worked all year in some form, fashion, or way. And they expect some things at Christmas. I mean, it's a Guyanese tradition. As you said, you got your little blinds, your little pepper pot, you go by courts and you extend yourself unnecessarily. But it's a thing we do. That's what we do. So everybody need a little blind,
Yeah, man, that's what we just do.
That's what we
do. You from these council meetings, not council, I should say the finance committee meetings. Are you hearing anything about generating new streams of income or anything on the side to help offset some of these expenses? Since clearly what the council is bringing in is the majority of it is going to salaries. Have you been hearing anything in relation to new sources of generating income?
Every time we meet, we honestly look at each other and say, well, we got to find ways to get money, and we got to find ways, and we keep saying we got to find ways. No concrete, nobody puts a proposal on deck and says, this is what we're going to do, or let's explore this. Let's find ways, new ways. And then we come back in another 2 weeks. Let's find ways. We got to find some ways. Then we come back another 2 weeks. We must find ways. And it's just a endless miasmic cycle of nonsense. And I don't like to get too political when it comes to city council and stuff, but it's just bad. It's just really, really bad efforts by a PNC led administration that runs City Hall and have run City Hall for 57 years. They just don't know what
Yeah.
they're doing. They have no concrete ideas. There are many ways you can generate income with such a vast entity with 556 employees, um, a lot of which are honestly redundant, that are just there and are not doing. I mean, that has been a constant. So we have all these employees, but the government of Guyana does a lot of the work. I mean, the roads that we drive on are
Right.
under the purvey of the mayor and city council, but they haven't looked after one in 45 years. But yet we have a road maintenance crew. Now, what this road maintenance crew does is between them and God, because the government of Guyana that does all the work. And let me give a big props up, if I may, to President Ali, who visited my constituency a few weeks ago and made some promises, and all have come true. You are asked the residents of Kingston, Alberton, Queenstown about them smooth roads they've been driving on, and as you alluded to earlier, the cleanup in the drains. That is all the PPPC governments who have promised the residents this. They don't have to, but they did, and they've come true, and and the citizens and the residents of at least constituency 1. And I've been told that it will extend to all the other constituencies in due course and time.
Yeah, well, I was talking with Minister Indar yesterday, and
Mm-hmm.
there are works happening across the capital city in terms of drainage, cleaning, and that kind of thing. In advance of the known rainy season that comes around this time,
Mm-hmm.
close to Christmas, the rain just tends to come down very heavy. And I've spoken to persons in those communities who are very happy with what has been done in those communities. So I know exactly what you're talking about. What's the way forward, dancing? I mean, what, 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 okay, let's say after this statutory today, this extraordinary statutory this morning, there's no consensus or there is not an agreement to give this 6.5 or the $25,000 one-off payment. What is going to happen with City Hall?
Everything will shut down, and the citizens will feel the brunt of it.
So
It will
you
it will
mean to
grind
tell
to a slow halt, because whilst a sit-in is just is a pre-strike, is a precursor to what it's a warning sign. It's a rattling of saber, and unless you can find middle ground and find something, then there's a full-blown strike and everything just stops,
yeah,
because the workers pay their union fees and they expect to be represented by the union. And look, Cordell, this ain't hard, man. People deserve a little blight, buddy. You got to give people something. I
done.
mean,
No,
it's in the heart to figure out what's going on. He gave people a little something. I'm sure that they're not going to insist, we want the stars and the moon. All right, detect some clouds and everybody keep rolling and let me see what happens next
right.
year, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
But
the city will grind to a halt if
what
measures.
what was the views of your counselors on the other side to these suggestions?
As with everything, we'll discuss this. Let's come back to another meeting and we'll discuss this. And we never do anything. Anything is not implemented concretely. And okay, this is the action, and then action is taken right after. It's a blame game, buddy. While the admin didn't carry out our duties, it's the admin's fault. It's the admin's fault. Then the admin said, but you didn't give us direct orders. And now, if I'm running a business and I gave a direct order to my CEO to do X, Y, and Z, and he doesn't do it, then he faces some form of discipline. That's what's going on at City Hall for too damn long, that nobody does their job, whether at the top, whether from council level, who passes the policy down, to the one who implements it. Everybody looks at each other and finds excuses why not to do what they're supposed to do. And that's the damn
Right,
truth. And
right.
it's been a cycle, apparently, that's been going around and round and on and on. I don't know. This has got to change. I have 3 years at the council, and I bet you your bottom dollar things going to change before I leave.
You got high hopes, dancing.
I am going to put pressure every single way and farm and fashion. They have to change because the citizens of Georgetown expect better, man. You know, you're bemoaning and crying that you want higher rates and taxes. I mean, they're the ones pushing for valuations, and this, that, and the other without thinking of what the citizens give people services and they will pay your taxes. But if you're not giving the services and it's haphazard and laza, well, how are you going to tell a man pay 10,000 more a year? You know, like, haul you up, you know,
So,
Ramjatan yourself.
something you said to me jump and stuck with me. No, you're saying the people want more money, but then the services in the city, bro. You understand where I'm coming from?
I,
When you have
as I just
500
explained,
employees, some of them redundant. You understand me? You spoke about road maintenance crew that not doing any road maintenance in the city. So how do you justify an increase for, let's say, the road maintenance crew? Who ain't doing road maintenance work? Or let's say the city constabulary is in charge of traffic management in Stabro. They're not doing that. They're not even providing, well, you could say this lock the market gate. So you could say they're providing some security for the people inside the market.
big walk by, lock up by.
You understand? The city constable doesn't provide security for citizens in the city to say, well, we feel safe. He's the guy in the police force. And that those funds are coming from central government. You
Yes.
understand? So I mean, while on one hand, I understand it's Christmas, you want a thing, but are the citizens getting value for service?
No, the citizens right now are not getting value for service, and that is what has to change. Before we, they have waxed lyrical about how they're going to raise taxes, or how they're going to implement new taxes, or how they're going to extract taxes, but they never talk about improving the services. I mean, Walter Narine, you know, God bless his soul, with limited resources, tries his very best to keep the city clean, or to keep, you know, but every time you go to the whoever it is in charge of, say, the drains or whatever, says, boy, by you know, Asta Cinema, they got a terrible alleyway. Boy, funds, limited funds. You know, we've been fixing the abattoir for 3 to 5 years now. Funds.
Really? That is
3 to 5 years.
same to me.
The
It look
abattoir ain't walking
about
about 3 years now. The abattoir in the center of the city ain't walking about 3 years. And nobody can
oh my
actually say
goodness.
why, how. Because it needs some work, it needs some right thing, but never got enough funds, or direct enough funds to where it's supposed to go, the essential services to make the citizens. I don't think people on the PNC understands what their job is there. I really don't believe they do. And ultimately, what has to happen is the citizen of Georgetown also says, let's give somebody else a chance and let me see what can happen, how our lives could improve, because it ain't improving under this current nonsense that's going on.
Yeah.
Telling you.
Yeah. And you're gonna be there for about 5 or 6 hours today. And at the end of it, most likely we will be right where we are right now.
We will come to some resolution, and we will write the union, and we will hope to hear from them, but it will be nothing concrete that solves any problem or resolves anything. We're just going to sit there and do nothing for 3 hours, 4 hours, as you said, maybe five even.
So
I mean,
we heard about the asset register some time back,
or
and
the lack of it.
the lack of an asset register or an updated asset register.
Right.
And we also heard about what was the other issue?
Bank reconciliation.
Right, the bank reconciliation, and also the fact that the system logging the rates and taxes payers is glitchy.
What we call the glitch.
Right, it's glitchy. What efforts have been made to remedy those, in my view, would be main issues of City Hall?
We will look at it, and we'll come back to the next meeting, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, and we'll get things done eventually. Just hold tight.
No, okay. So what stopped councillors at the last meeting from saying, okay, let's form a committee to start sorting out the asset register at least? I mean, that's a couple of words. Let's form a committee to start looking at the asset register. That's not something the council can do.
Well, ultimately, that is administration has to start at the asset register if they can find the records. Bank reconciliation hasn't been done in 10 to 12 years, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard. I've been in business for a while, and if you don't know what you got in the bank and the bank don't correspond with what you think you have, disaster. Before
Wait, Dan. I hear you open up some kind of food place or something wrong. Oh, wait.
I sell baseball bats as well.
You gotta open up a batting ring. That's what you gotta do. A batting ring.
Yeah, people who can actually swing properly. But yeah, anyway. I've been hearing the budget for next year, which was due for review on November the 15th, gone by the Minister of Local Government and the Local Government Commission, wouldn't probably be presented till the end of March. Now, buddy, how you are going to receive and spend without a budget of estimates? How? I don't know. Courdel, let me tell you the straight. If the City Hall or the Mayor City Council was a business, this would be liquidated, shut down, everybody fired, and start fresh, because nothing there makes sense, and the citizens are the beneficiary of that ineptitude, really and truly. Yeah. I can't continue. I mean, the government again is so very nice to step in. I mean, if they're not doing these drains and cleaning all, I don't know what will happen when the rains eventually come, because they will come. We've been had a dry period, the extended dry period. But buddy, when the rains come, gonna be problems. I mean, and I have done. Me and the other councillors make representation to the. I mean, the government just doesn't pop up and says we do this. No, we make representation that says the council blocks. They said they can't do this, but we went to the citizens. We asked the citizens to put some faith in us, and they expect that. So we would like to do X, Y, and Z, and they have responded beautifully. They says, okay, go to them, write it down, make a proposal to the Ministry of Works or the Ministry of X, Y, and Z, and we'll see how we can help.
Yeah. Man, look, I really don't know what to say with this situation.
And Courdel, if you think you frustrated, imagine me. Because you just keep going to these 6 and 7 and 8 hour meetings where nothing is done. And there's just a whole blame game and why?
Look, I just feel like the meetings could accomplish more. The reports, I think they should have a better way of, aren't the reports sent to everyone?
Yes.
So why all day we looking at these reports that everybody don't see? Everybody already see it. Nothing is discussed.
Because apparently it's important that we correct a comma, or if it's Jones that's spelled wrong, we gotta spell it properly, and that kind of nonsense. Yeah, and it just after 5 hours of going through the reports or 6 hours, there's very little time or energy left to deal with the actual matters at hand.
Yeah.
It is 15 constituents, and all constituents have issues and problems that need to be brought up and dealt with.
At the end of that, everybody's tired and ready to go. I've seen that. I've been there. It's frustrating.
It is.
These persons on these councils. So they had Sharon the money tongue the other day protesting or some stupidness like that. And my thing is, they're too concerned with political matters and not doing what they were elected to do for the areas.
Correct.
Look at the roads. Look at the drains. Look at the parapets. Look at revenue collection in the markets. But their focus is who is Tom Clore, or the fact that they want Councillor Chase Green on a committee.
On a committee, yeah.
More representation.
Petty nonsense.
You understand? It's really sad. It's really sad. And at the end of the day, when LGE comes up again, You're gonna hear the government in doing this and the government in give them that and what have you been doing up to
Well,
now? We have not heard from me a mentor his vision for at least me, his vision for Georgetown at the end of the 3 years where he expect Georgetown to be, or Sharma Solomon where Linden is expected to be.
right, we talking about that. We have been in council, new councilors such as myself, for 6 months, and we've never had orientation. No, which is the norm. You take the new councilors around to the buildings, so they're familiar with what the city owns. Well, I guess they are registered, but you orient people into what system they're coming into, and then But 6 months have passed, no orientation. Pana is just I can't use the word I probably want to use here. Facebook, Facebook
Listen,
jail would put both of we.
don't mess with my line. I just want to cuss like critics sometimes, but you gotta hold the composure, brother. Really and truly, you gotta try and hold it, because these people they push you to the edge. Really. No, that aside, there are other issues going on with the council. A lot of financial problems. Is it possible for the council to write some of these agencies that they owe, probably GRA, NIS, whoever they owe these big amounts of money, to write off some of these debts so like the council could catch itself? Because like it seems like soon as it get money, is to pay the staff and whoever left into debts, and that's it.
Right. I mean, we owe GRA, I think it's 1.6 or 1.7 billion. Having said that, out of that 1.6 billion, maybe 800 million is interest. But we went into them, and it's been such a long time. And you know why we owe it? You know why we owe that money? Because we took PAYE out of people's salary and we didn't pay them. It's not like we owe taxes on a piece of land and you could ask us against. You take the people PAYE. That's borderline fraud. Fraud. You take a man thing out the thing and you ain't pay to the agency, and you do
Yeah.
that for years. Same thing with NIS. I mean, suppose you go into NIS, say, yes, I got me 800 contributions. And I'm
Contributions
going to
and
tell
it's
you,
not
I'm
there.
sorry, it's 22. Sorry. Beat out.
Right. Don, I see former councillor, former mayor and current councillor Cheese Green. She's made it on the live. I'm gonna give her a
Lovely.
couple of seconds to straighten up her camera before I bring her on.
No problem,
But
buddy.
I see she's here. So good morning to you, councillor. How
A pleasant good morning to you and a pleasant good morning to Councillor Dan also. How are you guys this morning?
well
Morning,
I am
Counselor.
okay. Don is the councillor is, how to put it, by processing his meeting yesterday and preparing for statutory today. You know, but from your standpoint, councillor, we know that the council is strapped for cash. However, the union is asking for this increase. Yet there have been statutory after statutory where we have not heard any kind of push or any kind of ideas to generate new sources of revenue or to increase the revenue coming into the council. That aside, we still have not heard anything in relation to remedying the glitchy system in relation to rates and tax payments and that kind of thing. So could you give us your take on the situation from the information that you have? In relation to this increase that is requested by the unions, the council's ability to pay, and whether the council is moving in a direction to take up its responsibilities fully in the city and generate more income so that it could fulfill those responsibilities properly.
After listening to what you have just said and knowing what is going on in the council, there's only one phrase I could use, and it's a phrase that was used by a traffic chief many years ago. The situation is chaotic, he would have said. And those people of my age will know who said that.
Uh,
Um, To crown it, when Councillor Jainarayan Singh had said that the council is broke, the mayor took great offense to those words and said that the council is not broke. But as another councillor, Alfonso, would have said, had it been a private business, we would have had to foreclose already. The council is in a terrible situation. I mean, most recently, we've been sitting at meetings, and these are new councillors. You would have heard they asked for $11 million to do some cleaning within the city. And the treasurer said she couldn't find it. But lo and behold, we're finding $40-50 million to pay the 25,000 across the board. While I have no objections to the officers getting this money and workers getting it, because it's a Christmas bonus pay to every other worker. My concern is, how can you find that to give it back to yourself, but you're not finding it to give it back to the citizens who are giving you their small pieces? Because if you go now, you're going to see the line full of senior citizens paying their taxes. And what are they getting in return? Nothing.
Right.
For the Christmas, the council has not been able to do any cleaning other than having Mr. Narayan borrow a few trucks to do some parapet waste. But after that truck would have passed through, go back in the community it's flooded with parapet waste and all of that again.
Right.
Right now, the government is doing a lot of cleaning within the communities in Georgetown. Those are the works of the municipality. We've asked for money. We've put programs before, but we were not able to get the money. Here is it now, $14 million is going to come by the click of your fingers. Fine. After that, you're looking at a 5%. They said they couldn't pay 6.5. They're going to pay 5%. Good. That again is at the click of your fingers.
Right.
My concern is that while you're going to get an increase in monies coming in between now and say March, April, and you may be able to maintain that 5%, there will be no works done in the city. And again, we can't spend money, or if we spend money, we'll be spending money willy-nilly because there's no budget. There's no draft budget. This year's budget was approved when October, November. They have not, and Councillor Singh is a member of the Finance Committee. He can say if they have ever sat to decide how they would move forward with the 2024 budget.
Nope.
So now come January, February, March, April, how are we spending money? I mean,
that's why I wanted to ask the two of you right now. If the budget get presented in October, how the council was spending money all through 2023? I mean, where were they pulling the funds from? How does that work out?
Well, the funds came from whenever the revenue came in. And again, the council would have flouted any normal law that is thing. I think if your budget has not been approved, you could only spend 1/12 of it. Something of the sort. I don't remember, my figures may not be right, but there is only a portion you can utilize until your budget is approved. Ours was approved in October. They must say to us now how much money they would have spent. And have they been spending money in accordance with the proposed budget that we would have approved lately? And if so, where did the money goes? Again, our salary bill, and Councilman Ryan could tell you, is $110 million a month. So if you get $120 million in January and you pay salaries, you have $10 million. Your $10 million is barely to do maybe office maintenance. You can't clean the cemetery, you can't clean the drains, you can't pay the garbage collectors. There's lots of things you cannot do. And we have our buildings to maintain. Look at the condition of the constabulary building in Water Street. That's the training school.
Yes.
We have moved from having 300 and in excess of 50 constabulary members to about 125. Even if we do recruitment now, there's no training ground for them.
Yeah.
There's no way. And at the time, and I would always refer to myself as being mayor, at the time when I was mayor, there was more persons employed than they are now. At that time, we had 800, 900 to 1,000 persons. At one time, they had, I think, 1,200 persons. Now you have 500-600 persons employed, but you still can't meet the commitments of everything. Because even though some of them would have left the job and some would have retired, You still got to find pension. You got to find gratuity. Persons take us to court. We lost the case. We got to pay them. We got to pay costs. There's so much miscellaneous coming up. Look, most recently, we've been occupying the kitty market. We've recognized this keeping council there. The place is very hot. I mean, you could bake it there. We had to find money somehow to put the air conditions in there. Where the money come from? Where would that money was transferred from? Which um, place to the other? Those are things that we've been doing. But the council, if the administration could say to the council that for the period of 2023, other than doing the routine, which they have not been doing at 100%, what else would they have done to say that I have a project that I would have done in 2023, and I will continue to do a project in 2020? I am hoping, again, I refer to my tenure as the mayor. I started the kitty market because you knew the state it was. I brought the team from the engineers department, Mr. Venture, Mr. Kelman, and that team, to bring the kitty market to where it is right now. Monies to complete it. Will they put that in the 2024 budget so you can have the other stalls rented, you can have an intake in revenue? Presently, and I'm upset with this, the markets committee, and I have no problem if they make the decision and the council agrees, that during the Christmas season, they will not allow the vendors at the border market to come that 3 feet out where we normally will get revenue from, extra revenue. They voted against it. They drew a line and said nobody must cross the line. You go now, Courdel, or anytime during the day, every single vendor has crossed that line and have taken in that 3 feet. We're getting no funds. We're getting complaints of people allegedly going to collect funds, revenue. But we, the council, as far as I'm aware, has not agreed to collect any. I raised it at the last statutory meeting. Good? So that's revenue loss. We've asked them to put a system in place, not now, years now, where you can have revenue collectors identified with a particular area. That if I call and say John Jones, and your block is from King Street to Avenue of the Republic between Charlotte Street and Church Street, how many vendors you have there? You must be able to tell me 50 vendors, and I would be able to calculate 50 by 200. I'm just using figures.
And
is 100. So I know where my revenue is coming from. That is not happening. If you go to Border Market on Orange Walk right now, you would see a concrete structure there. That structure, again, was built during my time for revenues to be paid there after we put a system in place where everybody is ticketed with a number and a name, so that I don't have revenue collectors going out. You come there, you pay, and it's registered. And I would know if you pay or not. And those for the street vending, even the Christmas street vending. I had to register vendors. But since I would have left, the discard of that, because according to them, everything I was doing was not good. But those were the systems we were putting in place to make sure the revenue is there.
You're replacing a system that is there with nothing. I have heard an individual would have said to me, and they're planning to do a stakeout. I said they'll probably not say so, but they ain't gonna know which line. That late in the evening, there are city constables going around collecting revenue from the persons vending on the market late in the evenings. So indeed, somebody is collecting the revenue, but it's not making its way to City Hall. That's the sad part about it. And I think that is something so easy to regulate. Just as you gave an example, somebody in charge for a section, they know how much vendors. You as a councillor, dancing as a councillor, to go to that area and say, oh, this area is supposed to have 50 vendors. Let me count and see. So if you see 52, you know something off. You could check. You understand me? That's not hard.
It's not hard. Look, as you would have said about collecting revenue, I would have moved a motion at like 2 meetings ago, and Dan was there, where we recall a particular person who complaints would have come in that is allegedly collecting monies. And I said to them, listen, to stop this, recall this person from off the rules. Bring that person inside. They would not be going out there to collect revenue again. But as far as I'm aware with complaints, the others are still continuing because there's no system. There is no system. And unless we don't fight for a system, and this is years it's been happening, and unless you see what's happening, while the clerk of markets can give you a count for the stalls in the market and the control, it is the treasurer's department that controls the vendors. They have their revenue people that go out to pick up vending on the streets. So
Please.
you have two entities collecting. In my opinion, it should come under one umbrella. So
Right.
everybody, one man giving a count. Because when you go to people, oh, it's not me, it's this body, it's not the body, it's not the body. If it's under one umbrella, there's only one man could answer to you. But
Yeah.
that's a system we will have to try and enforce for 2024. Because during our campaign, we would have said we're not raising taxes. So therefore, that's a no-no. You have to look
Right.
at other ways and means of getting revenue. And the law give you it. The law give you provision for other
Yeah,
revenue.
Councillor Chase Green, before you came on, I was telling Cordell, that the APNU play is to blame the government for not giving them funds. But the problem with that is they will never tell the people that they haven't reconciled bank accounts. They don't have asset register. For 2 years now running, budgets will be late and monies will be spent and are collected and nothing will be done. If the government is going to transparently take taxpayer money to give to the city council, it can't go into a black hole and never return. They have to account for it. And this is the problem. They don't want to account. You just give us the money and say thank you and forget it. It goes in, disappear, do some Houdini shit and magically
So
disappear.
I heard.
But I have some difficulty with the government, with them saying government giving you money. They must ask themselves how much money while I was mayor from 2016 to 2018 did the government give to me? That government only gave to me money when I was coming out of office. And that was to pay Sevans so the new mayor could take on.
You see.
But they have never plugged money. All the cleaning and all the works that I would have done in the city of Georgetown was done after revenue. And that's why we would have owed people like Clungs Global and a few of the places that are still waiting until now to be paid. Those persons were working on credit for us, and you pay them part payment all the time. But we were trying to maintain the city and keep it clean. The government never aided me.
So you're basically saying
When I
that
was
this
leaving
can be
office
done
in
without
2018,
government money.
when I was leaving office in 2018 and Sevens and Purans and them step in for money, then they give the money so you branch could take over. But
Oh
other than
God,
that, they never. And the law
that's
quite
fine,
clearly
Martin.
says the council must manage the city from the revenue garnered. So why are you looking to the government for money? You have to manage it there. That's what you're supposed to do. But there's poor management, and sometimes the person to be blamed is not the town clerk. The person to be blamed is the treasurer. Because the treasurer is the one who's supposed to be advising according to 2801, the town clerk on finances and the council on the finances. Now the finance committee advise the treasurer.
Right.
And what is happening in many of the finance committees, you would have seen them actually pushing themselves to tell the treasurer what to do when you can't do it.
Yeah.
You guys spoke about the kitty market there. What's the hold up in getting that market open?
Pardon, I'm not hearing you clear, Cordell.
So you spoke of the kitty market earlier. What is the
Yeah.
hold up in getting that market open? Because a lot of money was spent there and it's locked up every day. I mean, I think only persons are able to vend on the outside of the market there.
Well, they have some electrical work to do inside the market, and they have the back of the market to do and so if they budget it, the staff can be used from the engineers department because those were the persons who did it. It was under Mr. Kelman's supervision, I think. So
Yeah, but it's
as long
almost
we get the money, we can do that market. What has been happening? And sometimes when you look at development, it is pity to see persons were paying $300 for a table to sell outside the market. Now we would have refurbished that market and put up some nice, beautiful stalls and all of that. And I think the price now is 19,000. Some of the persons are refusing to pay that. But you have an enclosed place and you can still use your outside. Nobody's stopping you. But they just don't want to pay the increase. And that's why you see most of those stalls are closed. But if the clerk of markets now go to apply the law, which says if you don't open your stand within 3 months or so that he can repossess, you're going to
Uh,
hear we want to take away people's livelihood. You want to do this, you want to do that. But there are some stall persons who have, I mean, say, I'm not paying for it, but it was assigned to them.
right.
I don't sell the kind of goods but do you want to stay in a situation where you just do a table shop all the time? If you want to do a table shop, well, in my opinion, and I hope I don't offend anybody, you'll have to find another place of vending and allow the council to get its revenue.
Yeah, but
But
that's the
sometimes
thing.
they say I'm too harsh and I think, but that's
Yeah,
how I look at it.
yeah, but we got to at some point follow the rule of law. I mean, if it is that you got to pay for this spot, this is the price of the spot. You want to vend, this is what is required to vend. That's what you gotta do. You understand me? But oftentimes, we as Guyanese tend to want to flex, flex for somebody, do a thing for somebody. You understand? And then once and then that starts this ripple effect of, okay, one person doing a tabletop, then you got 4 more next week, then 6 more, then the whole corner, people vending on the road. So I think there needs to be more enforcement of these bylaws at I'm in 2801. I'm not too afraid with 2801, but I know that it caters to these kinds of things and the enforcement of the rules and regulations to City Hall. Um, do Kitty Market aside,
It took that market nearly what, like 2 years now before it started snow picking up on the outside. Now
mm,
you're seeing a few people opening and expanding on the outside, and they would have changed the businesses. So, but that market would have been a model market, because inside the meat stall, the fish stand would have been a different arrangement as compared to the others. Because we had a model, I think it was from Panama, where just like how you go into some of the meat places and you see the meat place on display in freezers, we would have allowed those butchers to do that and the fishmongers with the fishes. So and have a nice arrangement down there. But I was removed, and then the whole project was put on hold. I'm quite
yeah,
certain when we go back to that project to continue it, you got to do some maintenance work on some parts of the market and then continue to do the project.
that was
Because let
what I
me
was.
tell you, we haven't been doing maintenance on any of our buildings.
Mm,
None of our buildings. And
mm.
eventually they're going to collapse.
Councillor Singh, was there any mention of purchasing of a PA system for the statutory meetings? Because I mean, the public wants to hear what's going on at these meetings. There's only a mic available for the mayor and the town clerk. So all the other councillors have to either yell or, well, you could hear fairly well in the room, but for the cameras and for persons who are looking from the outside, you heard anything about probably getting a better PA system and, so that the meeting could be better?
Why get a better PA system when you could yell? We like yelling, brother. We like ruckus. We don't like to improve the lives of others. We don't like, we ain't care about that. We like yell.
Oh
Oi,
my
No,
God.
I
councillor,
just let me tell you
oi.
what's happening. While they like to scream and shout and get the attention, as I would have said for many years, and all I can see now that I'm on the outside, Georgetown. That's all. You have the majority of seats in there and you control Georgetown and you're proud. I'm controlling Georgetown. Georgetown is me owned, it's not for sale. But
Right.
you're not maintaining Georgetown. And I
Yeah.
have no apologies to make when I say that. Because I
Yeah.
have the experience of sitting on both sides of the fence. And I can say now on the opposite side of the fence that there is no way that there's trying to make any improvement for the lives of these people in the city. I mean, you couldn't find $11 million to clean the city. Don is there. I'm sorry for saying Don, and probably the
That's fine.
councillor
That's fine.
Jaina Singh is there. And he know. We asked where they could find it. They said they can't find it.
They can't find
We
it. They
can't
don't have
find
it.
it, so we
Yeah.
couldn't clean. But now you're finding $40 million to pay across the board at the click of your fingers. That,
Remember,
for me, that $40 million you should have said as a caring administration, as a caring council, a majority voting council. You should have been able to say, listen, we're getting to increase some money. We can start. The rain's going to come anytime. Could we not get that $11 million to put into the communities? Let's start some work. And let's go to the
Screen,
government and say, look, we
if I
got
may.
$11 million. Yeah, I'll help you with the rest. But there's nothing of that sort going on. Nothing.
Councillor Chase Green, you hit the nail right on the head a minute ago. It's about winning Georgetown and then sitting down and do nothing, preening your feathers whilst the whole city falls apart. Well, you see, we beat them, we in charge of City Hall, but nothing gets done. And I
Yeah.
promised Cardell before you come on, I will do my best in my 3-year tenure to change this nonsense, because administration blames the council blames administration. It goes round and round and round. I mean, I was telling Cordell that we haven't had orientation yet. New councillors. I mean, it's
No.
just ridiculous.
If you ask any of the new councillors, where are some of the assets, or not even the assets, the rain is coming. You ask any one of them where they could find the cocoa in Kingston. They can't tell you.
Because we're not just, I mean, basic things like
If
that.
you ask them to show you the buildings that the council own in the city of Georgetown, they can't tell you. So how can you sit and make a decision for something you do not know about? Some of the councillors, and I have no apologies to make at this stage, don't even know what are the responsibilities of the council that you sit and serve.
so true, Travis, representing Charlestown. I call Neo. He's one.
They don't know. And I say to some of them sometimes when I said, this sailor, this is the Titanic, this can crash at any moment. Because ask them, when some of the officers come to say, I tell them plain, we're building castles in the air, they're gonna fall at any time.
Correct.
I mean, you just sit there and it's happening over. And it's been happening since my time. But the seriousness to change has to come from whoever sits as the mayor.
It has to come from the top, and I reiterate that 100%.
It has to come from the mayor.
Yeah,
and
we
why I
would be
can
in
say
such-
so is because when I was there was a change in the city of Georgetown. Look back at 2016 to 2018. Because I've made decisions that this is what I want. I look at the Merriman's Mall. I had a children's play field. I had it all. I had a presidential park going up. Look around the city of Georgia. I cleared the cemetery under my tenure. The cemetery was cleared. Kitty Market was done. The project of the nail technicians coming off of the streets and going in the Merriman's Mall.
As a former mayor, have you tried to sit with your what to call it with the current mayor to probably advise on how to probably implement some of these ideas or continue some of these projects? But before you answer, Councillor Singh, you were saying something.
What I'm saying is, and I 100% agree that it starts at the top. We will sit in statutory, and officers in various fields will come and tell us why it can't be done. Policies that we have set, they will tell us why it can't be done. Now, you in charge of this, you're the mayor, you says, well, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear how you are going to do it, how you are going to make it happen. Come and sit with me and we can work it out. Don't tell me it can't be done or excuses. I've sat there and I've listened to this stuff in amazement. Don't tell me why it can't be done. Do it. And if you have problems, come to me and we'll solve it. Let's get it done.
Now, Councillor Green, have you had that talk with the mayor to probably suggest to him, this you should
Me?
probably operate differently?
Listen, Council January thing will tell you, I am like a bad breath of air to these people. But at the end of the day, whenever I get up to say something, even though they don't accept it, then they
They
still have to
respect it.
return and accept it after because I can
Right.
tell them what is the fact. Now,
Correct.
you had a senior officer. There was a leakage and some accumulation of water at the back of Kitty Market. A senior officer was called to answer the council about having the water stop from the leakage stop and to clear. And this senior officer could stand up and say to the council, he can't get it done because he got lots of other things to do. No,
I
if
remember
I
I
was
was
sitting,
there. I was
if
there.
oh you were
Right.
there,
You were there.
Yes. When the master
no,
man is just
if
two
I
men
was the
going here
mayor,
telling me.
honestly, if I was the mayor, you've heard me how many times I object to officers coming to say it, but they will do that because the councillors are new and the councillors have not had an orientation and don't know what it's about. The town
True.
clerk is there to advise the council, legally or otherwise. And if her advice is not taken, she has a right to ask that it be recorded in the minutes. Because those minutes, if you have a matter in court and it's called for, it should be there. That's why I get up and I make lots of correction with one single word could change the whole sentence and
Yeah,
change the whole
yeah,
meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, how this is a market that we're trying to maintain and keep upkeep. You tell me water leaking at the back. It's gonna rotten the boards, it's gonna ruin all sorts of things, it's gonna flood some stalls or something at the back. And you
Mosquitoes,
tell me you
everything.
can't get one, man. But I heard
yeah,
after the town clerk had dealt with him and he was able to send people to deal with it. But that's
yeah,
the disrespect that they come because it is encouraged by the top.
yeah, yeah. I want to ask y'all something. Like, what's the procedure of firing people from this council work? What's the procedure? Because to me, that's insubordination, that's neglected duties are
In
anything.
prior to the local government commission, the council had its authority to hire and fire.
Mm,
Um, but now with the local government commission, we have to do the recommendations,
ah,
and they have got to get just cause as to if it should be done or so. Um, we've had some cases that say the last set of persons that were fired by the local government commission, and if they had taken my advice, it would not have been done in the way they did. While the officers, in my opinion, warranted this dismissal, the standard operational procedure
mm,
to dismiss them was not done. And so, therefore, when took the council to court, they won on that technicality because they
oh,
didn't do it. It didn't go through the Human Resource Committee. It didn't come to the council. It's whereby somebody write it to the local government commission and they start an inquiry and the whole thing. And those 7 officers were dismissed. They took us to court and they had to be reinstated and had to be paid all their back money and all of that. We had to find
wow,
out them millions of dollars. The same
wow,
thing with the Commission of Inquiry for myself and former town clerk Royston King. Again, the local government commission erred when they would have designated their responsibility to somebody else. Mr. King took them to court, won his case, and they had to pay Mr. King all that money plus pay him his retirement money and all of that. They do not take advice. It's I the boss, I in charge. Whatever happens, happens. And then
Yes.
you hire lawyers. You hire lawyers at exorbitant prices
mm,
because win, lose, or draw, the lawyer has to be paid.
right,
Yep.
Right? So there
Yep.
is so much. And Council General will tell you, we don't sit in every committee. I sit on
mm,
no committee, none. I am vocal at the statutory meeting. And most times you'd hear the mayor say, Art, I can talk to you. I can allow you to speak just now. But then he moves on. And I would say, like, this This don't make no sense. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna find yourself with your back against the wall and the council loses.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
your error is an expense to the council financially. The mistakes that you make in your decisions end up costing the council money that we can't afford, money that should be spending on the citizens in cleaning our drains, looking at our cemeteries, looking at our markets, our daycares. During the COVID, we would have closed every single daycare. We're trying to open at least one and maintain the Darty Bailey. That will take some money, but we don't have it.
Yeah.
It takes only
Cordell,
40 million.
it's 6 minutes past 9. We gotta be at
Yeah.
statutory for
I can
10.
let you.
So
I can
You're
let
just
you.
uh,
going. You're just going to be notified.
yeah, we're gonna deal with a sitting that we got notified and one longer and
Your
yeah.
proposal, your proposal on the table is taken for notification, and it will be implemented before the next statutory meeting. End the story.
And then that will be repeated at the next Sagittarius, next Sagittarius. I was telling Cordell before you came on. It's just
Yeah,
ridiculous. That has to be changed. That has to be changed. The people need to be served. They're paying it, and all kinds of implementations of new taxes, this and that, and new evaluations can't be done unless you start giving people the services that they're paying for. Start with that.
Exactly.
of
But
course. What we should do at the first the finance committee is like I asked while I was there with Tom Clark King. We starting 2024. How much money do we owe our contractors? What we starting off with the debts? What are the debts we starting off with?
and you know what they will say, Deepat? They will say, well, we didn't do the budget yet, so we're still trying to figure that out. And that
But
will
you
be
got your
the,
records. You could tell me if you're
they're
paying
not,
who you
This,
owe. Because I
this is
know the
my
old
last
contractor
question
since
to the two of y'all.
2018.
This is my last question to the two of y'all.
I
As
know
two
the owe some small
councillors,
contractors since 2018 for garbage collection.
I want to ask the two of you, two councillors, something. As you two would know that
It
it is
is
a
sad
violation.
the way we operate. But as I said, and I know I'm going to come in for a lot of blows at the next statutory meeting from the opposition side, from the other side, is that all they want to do is control Georgetown.
that's it.
That's it. Georgetown is we own. We ain't giving it up for nothing.
Hmm.
We will hold on to it. The people like us and they will vote for us, and so we can do what we want. We can come with promises. But as I always say, a promise is a comfort to a fool. How long can you keep promising me? I am
Yeah.
grateful to the government. If you come in my community right now, our primary road has just been redone, resurfaced the entire road. The culvert in my street in Canary Road is being done. There's a bridge to cross. So because we got lots of school children that go to Tuckville School and St. Christopher's School. We also have the
Councillor,
shelter
you
here.
know
So
that bridge
there's a bridge
Paul
over the
Joseph
canal
called you
by
out.
me that you can use instead of going onto the road. Um, the walkway by Uncle Eddie's home was done by the government. The bridge that connects Stevie Doe's scheme to the Tuckville Secondary School, that was done. Bridges there.
Councillor,
Right now, we would have been having a complaint with, we've asked somebody to go and look at that bridge by the bus today, where the rails are shaking to reinforce it.
the
Works
bridge,
them. I could call any minister. I could call Minister Edgel. I could call Minister Kwame and say, look, we have a problem in our community. Could you fix it for me? And it is fixed. I could not have done that before. I got
the
to
bridge
talk to a
that the guy had
secretary.
asked you to check, Paul Joseph. What's going on with that bridge?
Which one?
The bridge going towards Turning Point, that
Yeah,
side.
as I said to you, we asked. We've consulted with um, a contractor and asked him to go and give us the assessment for it. So
Okay,
that's
so
being
things
looked at.
in the process. It's in the
Right.
process.
He's a little
And
slow. It's a little slow, but it will be done. I will
my
call this
final
morning again
question.
and remind him. Mhm.
Good. And my final question to the two of you. Now, you as sitting councillors know that currently the council is in violation of whatever act, law, whatever it is, to be operating without a budget or present the budget late or whatever it is. What steps can you all take in terms of when it be legal action, sanctioning the council? What can be done about that? Because they're operating in illegality there. You're spending without a budget. You've been spending without a budget. What can be done there?
The only action I see us taking, because we don't have a majority vote, they're 11 to 19. And so, regardless of what we propose, it will be voted down. Our action is in our community where we're going to work. And so we bring the change in 2026 where we will have a majority rule. Other than that, we can talk. This is your forum, and the public forum is the forum. We have to bring these things to the attention of what is really happening in City Hall.
Right.
Good. And I tell people, I was part of that system. I take my responsibility for it, but I was not seeing it through the other eye. Now I've been able to see. There's always a change is hard, but change is better. All times change is better because you're accustomed doing the same thing over and over and over. It becomes a norm. And that's why I'm saying when you do the wrong for too long, it becomes the right to you, but it's wrong. And that's what's been happening. You sit there, you're in control, you're trying to do all you got to do nothing. And according to Fernando Sancho in one of those westerns, nothing is a very hard thing to do. So I think that's what they're doing. They find it very hard to do nothing. And we're doing nothing. We allow officers to come and build castles in the air for us, sell us dreams that become nightmare in reality. I mean, it's been too long. For me, it's been too long. And I need to see change. I've made that change, and I am getting change in my community.
Correct. But Courdel, I think you're a wicked, wicked big man. How you ask the question, why you want to take action against poor, defenseless, cloven animals, buddy? What kind of human being is you?
No, but wrong is wrong.
Wrong is wrong, but
wrong is wrong all the time.
If the government of Guyana, if they had, I don't know if there was a stipulation in the time period for the presentation of the national budget, but if the government of Guyana delayed that presentation, right? The opposition would have been all over it and would have taken every avenue to sanction the government for not delivering.
And quite rightly so. You
understand? So if the majority PNC controlled council year after year continues to present the budget late outside of the rules and regulations that govern me and city council, you understand? There must be some sanction.
Listen to me. All they know to do is give you great lip service. And there's no inclusivity with our councillors. Most recently, there's some court matters, and I think they've been done viral. And the mayor says, "Oh, Madam Town Clerk, I like when these matters are being called out to be a part of it. I will have a team set up and call the team." Not a single PPP councillor. Not a single PPP councillor was called to that team. He just stood as a two-man team, himself and the chairman of the finance committee. And I refuse to get up an objective because people must understand where they want to go and what they want to do. They want to shut the government out, shut the councillors out in the council. They must have no say, but then they attack the government. Right? The government who is giving you a helping hand, they attack you. And they only want you conveniently.
Yeah.
That's all. But he wants to be a part of the court cases, and he wants a team set up. There are two parties in the council. Even if it's a three-man team you want, two for you and one for the other side.
Yeah.
But there's no inclusivity in anything.
None
whatsoever.
Anyway, councillors.
But if they want you vote, they call you to ask you some nonsense.
I want to thank you all for coming on the program this morning. I know you.
Yeah, it was a lovely. Thanks for having us, man. It was a lively debate. I hope you pass. Get some time to pass by in Kitty there. We probably meet him for an hour and a half, 2 hours, hopefully less than that.
I'll be at the next one. I got some other work to do today. So
okay. The next one's on the 27th.
Yeah, well.
On the 27th at 2 p.m.
I can see y'all at that one.
All right, buddy.
And I hope you have a Merry Christmas to yourself and your family, a prosperous New Year. And I hope, and as I said, in the new year, we'll try our best. We'll continue to do our best as members of the PPP Civic. and as councillors representing our constituencies in Georgetown. As a
Yeah.
PR councillor, I represent the entire Georgetown. There's some places that we need to go and look at. We have not had orientation. While I know of our assets in Georgetown, the new councillors do not know it. While I know all of the I mean, I don't know everything. I'm still in a learning stage after all these years. I still have to have my ears and my eyes and everything for the officers that come so slick. If you don't know what you're about, you can be overturned in any decision. They make you feel sometimes that your right is wrong.
Right.
How they come to you, if you don't know what you're about, you would change your own decision, which is the right to accept they're wrong. And mind you, not all of them, some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, Cordell, I'm going to run. Merry Christmas to you, your viewers, and thanks again for having me on.
Season's greetings to both of you and your families.
Thank you,
From
buddy.
the Livewire family straight to y'all.
Thanks a lot.
All
I'll
right.
keep you
Bye-bye.
updated on the bridge when the contractor goes Cornell. I'll
All right.
remind him again this morning. Mm.
Great. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Councillor
All
Chase
right.
Green.
Thanks, guys.
Right. So those are two councillors from the mayor and city council at the capital city sharing some information in relation to what's going on there. As I don't think I told y'all, but we're gonna be going a little overtime today as we had to cut short yesterday. I wanted to discuss yesterday that I didn't get a chance. This guy Sharma Solomon coming to town to protest in front of the local government commission instead of Sharma Solomon being in his community, meeting with his councillors, discussing ways to advance the development in Linden, or at least the aspects of development that would fall under Mr. Solomon's purview as mayor. Now, instead of looking at the development of that community, you are focused on the town clerk. You are taking your efforts to focus on the town clerk instead of working with the town clerk to advance development in Linden. How that making sense? You bring down protesters, you bring down councillors, you bring down yourself to an area which you have no purview over, where your colleague mayor doing stupidness too here in town. Instead, you try to outshine him in Linden and do something sensible and tangible in Linden. Isn't there a cemetery to be cleaned in Linden, Mr. Solomon? Isn't there garbage collection issues in Linden, Mr. Solomon? You finding the time to clung out yourself, thank you, Lance, clung out yourself in Georgetown when your constituents need your help in Linden. The markets need repair in Linden. Thank God, no, I don't think Linden's got flooding issues. But come on. You, like Mr. Mentor, I have not heard what is your vision for the next 3 years or for your tenure as mayor. What are you hoping to accomplish? You're looking to build a new market? You're looking to do over the bus park? Or what are you doing? What are you doing, sir? We don't hear it. But your issue, and mind you, try go to a doctor. I know, I like how you're looking, brother. Try go and get yourself checked out. See what happening to you. Because back in the day, I remember Sherrod Duncan been making jokes about the vice president, how he slimmed down. Sherrod, you see Sharma? I worried. I'm gonna see if I find a video I show y'all. I was supposed to show y'all something with Coretta, but I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna upset y'all, and I ain't gonna upset myself today. But I just want to show y'all what I'm talking about. I am worried about this guy. Somebody need to probably carry his GPA. See, I'm gonna probably give Minister Frank Anthony a call and asked him to see what he could do. Because, trust me, I was like, what going on here? So this is what I'm talking about. This can't be good life. What happening with this gentleman? Right? What went out with this brother? Look at this brother. You understand me? If this is not sufferation, I don't know what is. Right? If this is not sufferation, I don't know what is. And barely look like he got energy. And instead, you take whatever little you got and work in Linden. You're making yourself a blasted fool in Georgetown. You understand me? A blasted fool in Georgetown. Now, the town clerk in Linden is not trying to stymie any progress, block anything you want to do. They want to hear what you want to do. They're trying to get things done there. Now you decide you ain't want to work with the town clerk. Well, it's not your decision. So in relation to who is appointed or hired, it's not your decision. The applications are sent to local government and they just do the hiring. Right? People didn't elect you to come to town and protest over town clerk. They elect you to advance the developmental Linden. They elected you to advance the developmental Linden. So what you are doing here now is against what the people put you there to do. You're wasting time. You're wasting time. What policy, what project, what anything come out of the Linden Town Council since they would have took up official duties since last LGE, this new town council? What could you say you would have done for the people of Linden, sir, Mr. Sharma Solomon? What could you say you would have done for the people of Linden through the municipality? And just like was mentioned earlier, during the coalition's reign of power, people like Sharma Solomon was mayor before and didn't do shit in Linden. Carwin Holland, who had to run and leave Linden. Carwin Holland, who now living in Canada and can't come back to Linden because of all the stupidness he do up there. When last anybody in Linden see or hear about a Carwin Holland? After he done make a mess of Linden. These PNC mayors make a mess of that community and gone. Carwin Holland, Sharman Solomon, no legacy as former mayors of Linden. And currently, he don't have no legacy to leave because his focus is not on the developmental Linden. It's fighting on other people who don't have the same beliefs and ideologies as him. Lennox Gaspar hasn't violated anybody at the council. Lennox Gaspar thief no money from the council. Lennox Gaspar was a councillor. And I dare say a councillor with a clean track record. And I dare say a councillor that was on Sharma Solomon's side. But no, that Lennox Gaspar, like former Mayor Chase Green, like former councillor Trisha Richards, just like those people, Lennox Gaspar realized, well, hey, you know something? I am with this PNC group and I'm unable to help my community. I'm unable to do anything for my community. I'm not getting any support from the persons at the executive level. And this is, I say this on this program. They had the executive and they had the council. The executive for the PBPC has never had a council in control. Why would the PNC not want to support its own council, city and town, in areas that they control? New Amsterdam, Linden, and Georgetown supposed to be the best towns and city, because those areas would usually vote in the PNC's favor. But even with that, they have no time with y'all. They don't care about y'all. This is what Sharma Solomon then talk doing right now. I'm sorry for song stuffing, but those is congested. Right? This is what Sharma Solomon finding the time to come and do in Georgetown. Instead, he stay backside in Linden and do some work there. I keep telling y'all, the PNC, these positions, is not about helping the people. It's not about developing Guyana. It's not about advancing any cause or anything. It's all about the pump and fancy that come with it. Easy, I'm the mayor Linden. You understand? I'm the mayor Linden, or I'm the mayor Georgetown. They don't care about helping the people in Georgetown. Look, last night, I'm looking at the debate, and Annette Ferguson got the audacity. Oh, God, the guy is hypocrite. Oh, God, y'all pray for shit. Only Jesus could save her. You understand me? The guy in his hypocrite got the audacity to ask about roads in Sapphire and Haslington and them places. The guy in his hypocrite had the audacity to ask about roads in Sapphire and if these roads gonna be done and if this and if that. When the guy in his hypocrite did not go in there and do that. Oh, Jesus, man. These people bareface. All the responsibilities that they had, along with the golden opportunity to show all Afro-Guyanese and all Guyanese all the things that they're talking about, all the corruption, all the discrimination, all the money that fall into the cracks, as they put it, right? All that money that they save, they go to projects under their tenure. We can't point to nothing other than a shaft in mad, other than lar that they in mad here. And a couple arches around the town, and the Woodlands and Vagrant Hotel, that's on Homestretch Avenue. There's, oh, how dare me. And as the guy, this hypocrite said, the bridge in Maruka, Region 1. Or, as she said, in her words, Morocco, Region 1. Right? That is what you got. That is what you got. They don't care. They don't care. And they will not fix your road. They ain't gonna give you they do the housing program for teachers. They supplement the teachers, get at the teachers the grants so that they ain't spending their own money to buy supplies and those kinds of things. They ain't gonna bring back the because they care. They ain't gonna bring back the 1 month tax-free bonus too. Oh gosh, this thing affected me. Y'all please give me 1 second. Sorry. Yeah, guys, sorry about that. But they ain't gonna do that. You understand? They are not, they took away all those things from people. And then, as the Guyanese hypocrite said, 40,000 is not enough. Right? 40,000 was not enough. Well, imagine how much nothing would have been. Right? You remember she said, whilst it full of hole is not enough. Imagine how much pulling nothing would have filled that hole. And that's what I'm trying to show y'all. Hypocrites. Hypocrites. The same things that they deprive Guyanese of, they are now collecting and benefiting from. And now telling the government they should do more. You understand me? Hypocrite. And it asks him about Sapphire roads, all them concrete roads, Beefield Road that now getting due in Sapphires. This government, Minister Edgel, Minister Indar, you understand me? All them concrete roads in Sapphire that happening now, the coalition didn't care about the people who just come out and broke up and burn down and protest for them. Sapphire literally in Congress Place backyard, and they had no time with them people. No time. No time. If you go into Sapphire now, you've had more ministers visiting the community of Sapphire in the last 3 years than you had in the whole 5 years of the coalition. More ministers, more activity. So you got roads in Sapphire, A, B, C field, and I think D field too got some roads. You have the new Blacker Bridge that the coalition know about, left for 5 years and in fix. Sapphire, the 1-lane bridge that only one lane of traffic could pass at a time. Traffic jam every morning at Sapphire Blacker Bridge. Every morning until the new bridge get built by this government. You have the North Sapphire Community Center that was, you can't even say rehabilitated, built, because it was just a empty space. An empty space that was there. Now they got a facility, it got a little stage area, they still got place to play and things like that, enhancing that community, right? And these people now asking about Sapphire Road. The community center ground in Seafield that they started and couldn't finish. Y'all could believe it. Started and couldn't finish. This government, Minister Ramson and team had to go in and finish that ground. Seafield Sapphire. Right? And there's nothing else in that Sapphire community that you could attribute to the PNC, APNU, AFC, whoever else in the group. Nothing else. Right? The Councillor Chase Green is informing me all play fields right now under construction or rehabilitation. Y'all see what they're doing at Burnham Court? Don't think you're City Hall. Don't think it's City Hall. You see what they're doing at Burnham Court there? That area there, they're rehabilitating it. You remember Chris Jones used to say, oh, this year is going to be lit. We're lighting up all grounds. We're lighting up. Lighting up what? Lighting up your barbershop. Well, not even that, because that's in bill yet. So not even that getting light, because you got to have something to put light inside, right? Director of Sport Christopher Jones promised to light all them grounds. How much grounds he light in Linden? What work they do on the Mackenzie Sports Club ground? Make this idiot London playing, he going and causing problem. That's what's getting me wild with these people, you know. No effort to rehabilitate that ground. You had an idea about a synthetic track. You can't finish it. But Apostle London playing he abusing, but ground turn into cricket ground, and Linden is playing football, and you just play idiot Apostle London. That's the only thing playing we talking about. You just play stupidity. And I already talked something about the president, but here's my thing. I don't see Apostle London as anything of importance. The main reason is there are more than 4 voting adults in this man's house, right? You know how many people vote for this man at the LG election? I can get the SOP and show y'all. You understand? That shows me that they got persons who just like to listen to stupidness. that can just listen to this man talk. The liar apostle claiming that Bosai or whoever donate this whole ground when the plaque clearly said the people build the pavilion. Misrepresentation. And then he want to preach to people on Sunday and play the righteous and religious. You understand me? Righteous and religious. Claiming he's not PNC. But for everyone correct, a McDonald program talking a bunch of bunkum. Where was he when Carvin Holland was making a mess of Linden? When same Sharma Solomon as a former mayor was making a mess of Linden, doing nothing for the community. You understand? You can't find any of them to talk. You can't find any of them to say nothing. All of them sit down quiet. Carvin Holland do his stupidness, collect wherever he could collect, run out the country. Living in Canada now. Living the best life. Waste. Sharma Solomon, waste. The regional chairman in Linden, Deron Adams, waste. Complete waste. Nothing a sense, nothing a substance. You understand me? Vanessa Kesu, all of them, waste. I've not heard from a PNC councillor in Linden how they plan on doing something for the community. The communities that vote for them. What are they? What are they doing? All they focus on is Lennox Gospel. Instead of focusing on the issues in Linden, better garbage collection, carpet cleaning, fixing the cemetery, doing little road works, trying to increase revenue, fixing the market, fixing the bus park, boat landings, them kind of thing, Charmer. You in tongue doing a set of stupidness, your anemic looking self. You better go and get a transfusion, brother. You need to go and get a transfusion. Because you shouldn't be standing up in this hot sun that beating Josh on these days when you lacking blood, brother. You're pale, my brother. Right? I know sunlight does bring you up, but you need builders, something. Be complex, B12, B6. Be something. You need it, brother. Because this here, you, something wrong. Something is wrong. Something wrong. Why you, what's it? Why you looking so? You understand me? Comrade, go back to your region and work in your region. Work in your region. Fix your region. Don't come to town and make yourself look like an idiot. Right? I tell you all a Black Paul, not from the live, from a WhatsApp. I want no communication with Paul anymore. Fed up he. Paul tell me I was a racist because me and broadcast the rest of the soldiers them funeral. You might had work to do. I was on the road. I couldn't do it. You understand me? But anyway, guys, this is what people in Linden, this is the work people in Linden voted for. Your mayor is in another area doing stupidness. Right? He's in another area doing bare stupidness. Instead, he work on making things better in Linden. And that's the sad situation here. These persons who represent the PNC, even if it means their constituents must suffer, they will not operate in a manner that is conducive to development in the area, whether they're in power or not. So if they're in power, they can just take the money and do their own thing. When they're out of power and somebody else doing it, their main aim is just to oppose. Right? Their main aim is just to oppose. Why would you have issues if you fall in short as the town council with public works doing road works in Linden? Why would you have issues? I've even heard at this city council statutory where I think it was Councillor Clayton Hines. No, this was a personal conversation we were having, where he is saying that even if the government want to do these projects, they should hand the projects over to City Hall and let their engineers manage the project. Why? Why? No. The same thing I tell you, no. Y'all ain't even managing your own projects. You gonna let the government waste the money upon a project that y'all gonna go and mess up that they gonna come back and do again? No, man. No. You let your engineer handle the projects that come out of City Hall. If central government, after representation from councillors to central government for help because City Hall ain't got money, they gonna manage their own thing because it's their money, they gotta get account for it. Now when the hand y'all, the project can do, the money done, the people still vex. No, it don't make sense. No, not happening. Right? It is not happening. So, Sharma, go back and do your work. Mr. Mentor, you need to get sense and stop joking around at these council meetings. It is a very serious situation. People in Georgetown voted for your party to represent them at the council level. That is your responsibility, sir. And the mere fact that at least up to now, I go to statutories and can't hear nothing concrete about how y'all plan on bettering things in the city is very disheartening. Because you, like Sharma Solomon, you're hitting the nail on the head. You're missing the point of why you were elected. Nobody didn't elect you to protest anywhere. Nobody didn't elect you to protest anywhere. And look at the protests. Look at the protests. Right now, we got 4 persons in screen. Let me flip through and see how many people are actually here. I think you could see it at the beginning. Right? Let's see. APNU AFC TV. How this even still thing? Y'all don't have no damn APNU AFC. So good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Sharma Solomon. This is the idiocy I talk about. Let me check and see. Because I had some photos on this page. Let me make sure it's not more. I don't know if these persons are councillors. I don't know all the councillors there in Linden by face. But just looking at the photos, right? This is all the people you get to come out for this big, well, I think this is the deputy mayor. This should be the looking one on the left-hand side here. But this is all the people you get to come out for your cause. Where the rest of Lindeners that don't want Lennox Gospel? Right? So it is not a case where the entire Linden is against this town clerk. It's a stupid mayor and a few stupid councillors. You understand me? They could hold a protest in Linden to say, well, the whole of Linden, thousands of people or hundreds of people come out because they want Lennox Gospel. You got 7 idiots. 7 idiots. That's all they could have mustered. Listen, here's my thing. If there is such a major issue with some of these things that the coalition does raise, something simple as a petition, you can't get 500 people to sign a petition saying, yeah, we don't want Lennox Gospel. It's just you, idiot, Sharma Solomon, and the few idiots that following you, 6 or 7 at most, coming out to play is this big uproar over who's the town clerk. If the town of Linden had an issue with the town clerk, the town of Linden would have come out. But if it burning you, Sharma, that Gospel walk away from the PNC. Gospel walk away from listlessness. Gospel did not want to be a listless publicity whore. He actually wanted to effect change in his community. Because that's what most of them are, you know. Listless publicity whores. They're going to go out on the road to protest anything so that the media could come and they get a little time. Even if they look stupid. Even if they don't have a proper point to present. Listless publicity whores. So, again, Solomon's main gripe with Lennox Gaspar is that Lennox Gaspar walked away from that dead party that refused to close its eye. He walked away. He, as a Lindener, saw what they did for Linden, and no, he couldn't see because they did nothing. They did nothing. They did nothing in Linden that you can point to and said, this was built by the coalition for Lindeners to benefit. I challenge any Lindener to show me one major project by the coalition government in Linden 2015-2020. Completed. Major project that benefiting the majority of persons living in that town. There is nothing that you can point to. There's nothing that you can point to in All Boys Town. There's nothing that you can point to in Sophia. There's nothing you could point in Beirut. There's nothing you could point to in New Amsterdam. You understand me? There is nothing. Well, sorry. The only thing you could point in Georgetown is Durban Park. Right? That is their major project that you can say all the constituents in Georgetown could have come to. And they came there to take a photo with a cardboard. You understand? Other than the lar that is in Madia. You hear me? There is nothing in that area. Another area that they control the executive and at the council level that they did nothing for in that area other than a bent-up shaft that they left in Madia. I don't know why somebody with a pickup truck don't pull the thing down in Madia. Hook a chain on it and pull it down. In the night, just in case people see the police gonna lock you up. That's vandalizing. A matter of fact, y'all left the people lar. Don't trouble it. It's vandalizing. You're gonna be arrested. It's against the law. I take that back. Y'all leave the people thing. Please. Good. But that's all they left. That is all they left. Let them what? 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 Y'all remember Valda Lawrence addressing Amerindians as buck? And that's the party who care about all the races and equality and that kind of thing. Listen, y'all don't be fooled by these people. Don't be fooled by these people. I saw Coretta McDonald on some program again. And for some reason, they're running to Barbados. So Aubrey Norton on some Bajan program thinking he in Trinidad. And Coretta McDonald on some Bajan program talking about the people who interfered in our 2020 elections, sitting down next to Maduro and stuff. It's like, I don't understand, like, what these people are trying to, matter of fact, I understand what they're trying to accomplish. Division. Now, I have explained on this program before, right? Venezuela, whilst they have an issue with Guyana, Venezuela has good relations with other countries in the Caribbean, Central America, and other parts of the world. Right? Venezuela works in close collaboration with CARICOM states. CELAC, I think Venezuela is a part of CELAC as well, I think. Not sure. But why should Ralph Gonzalez and Mia Motley take this? And mind you, CARICOM, which Ralph Gonzalez and Mia Motley are part of, issued a strong statement stating, well, this is our stance on the matter. But they are looking at the fact that Mia Motley was sitting on the side with Venezuela and all kind of stupidness, trying to insinuate all kinds of things. And that is, again, I say, the PNC either doesn't understand diplomacy or outright just trying to fool the people that view their programs and follow them. Right? Venezuela and Barbados have bilateral ties, like many other Caribbean countries. So expecting to see Mia Motley or Raul Gonzalez on one side of the table, or what is that? Nobody went there to take a side. They went there to discuss an issue and to ensure that this space where we operate, the Caribbean, Central America, South America, and those areas there, remains a zone of peace. Right? Remains a zone of peace. And that is what was accomplished. Now, an educated idiot like Coretta McDonald gonna go on a program. I got it right here. Let me share this with y'all. We going a lecture over time today. I messed y'all up yesterday, and I was wrong for that. So we gonna look at this. Listen to Coretta McDonald right now.
The flag of Venezuela with that part of Essequibo on this plane there. We also saw them walking out there, and they had semi-placards with the flag of the map of Venezuela.
What do you ask the God with Mia Motley and Ralph Gonzalez? Venezuela been making themselves wherever they're making themselves since the beginning of the conflict. Mind you, 37 people on this live right now, right? But not this live. On our live here, we got 114, right? We got 114. But Coretta, 37 people on this live. That's to show you, even the people who support them, they really fall in the stupidness no more. The Matson. Right? Now, how is it Mia Motley, Ralph Gonzalez, Irfan Ali gonna determine how Venezuela show up to this meeting? Venezuela already take a stance. So they're showing up from the point of view of their stance. Right? How are you blaming Mia Motley and Ralph Gonzalez for that?
And that part of Essequibo. So right away, our people were saying, this man is very, very presumptuous.
I can't stand this lady, I really can't. I prefer to deal with Annette. I prefer to deal with the Guyanese hypocrite. I cannot stand Coretta. Oh my God.
You're going into a quote unquote peace meeting, and this is what you're going in there with. And this is being very pompous. And we want to know, why are you?
You are pompous. You are pompous, Coretta. You and your party were pompous with the rigging of the elections. That's not pomposity. Is it pomposity? Or something? Pomposity? I don't know. Something. You pompous.
You being so pompous. Why you had to come there with an aircraft with
pomposity? Is pomposity? It's a pomposity.
That map draw.
It's because the people aircraft. It's the people aircraft. Correct, can draw what they want on it. The main thing is President Irfan Ali said Essequibo we own. We as Guyanese said Essequibo we own. We can't. Venezuela could draw what they want. You understand? Venezuela could draw what they want on the plane that they buy or the rent or wherever it is. Our president has said we are not budging from Essequibo is ours. 1899 arbitral award. What is
on there? And of course, we saw President Ali going there with a flag of the map of Guyana on his band there, showing.
You saw she's trying to downplay it, right? Now Venezuela show up making themselves as normal. Now President Ali show up being the humble man he is. Subtle, he got the little armband with the flag. He got a flag. Something else I saw a flag on. His tie had the Guyana flag, and he had a Guyana pin wearing there. Oh shit, that's not showing up with what could it be that the Venezuelans think we should pump us too with the flag and the thing there too? What the Venezuelans could tell we about we showing up with our stuff? But she gonna take that to make it look like, oh, the president ain't representing us. Thank God we don't have people like you representing us in this situation, Coretta. Thank God.
Essequibo is a part of Guyana and all of that. But The whole talks.
Mhm.
I really did not notice it, but it was brought to my attention. Look at the table. Look and see.
So now we get into the table, right? Y'all listen to this argument from Coretta. I gotta find a name for Coretta.
Where PM Mortley was sitting. And you know, all of these observations are
So
coming.
let's pause there because that is interesting because we
So we pause and now I think this is Marcio Weeks. This is horror show, right? Now y'all look.
saw the table and there were some things that we saw on the table which we are going to discuss this table, right? We're going to good night Kimar. Kimar is on and I know he's working behind the scenes to make sure we're up tonight because we don't give up, you know. Listen,
Does he have a picture of the table?
Yeah, well, I don't know yet. We'll have to see if we can get a picture of the table. I know Kimar, if he can get a picture, he'd put it up.
Kimar taking too long.
I watched the proceedings and I was really interested in the talks that were going to come out. I mean, there's no more
saying that Guyanese are generally a little, they're happy about what has happened, but they're a little uneasy about it because they're not so sure. Because there are two individuals there that were present at their there are two other flags that are there.
So first of all, they were saying that it was one flag, the Bajan flag, right?
To get it.
Because there are two individuals.
Right? The saying was one flag and
individuals there that were present.
So their issue is that Mia Motley is here on the side with Venezuela, and I see this is Keith Rowley here in the corner there, right? That's their main issue, that these were Motley on that side of the table.
At their there are two other flags that are there. That seems to be, is that St. Lucia?
No, ma'am, that's the flag of Bahamas. Right? This black, blue, and yellow, Bahamas.
St. Lucia?
No.
Yes.
No. That's not St. Lucia. We're seeing Barbados, and I'm not sure the other flag.
So that's Trinidad here, right? And we have Bahamas. You have the Bajan flag.
Whose flag is that?
These is
Would that red one be possibly Trinidad?
Right?
Might be.
Right there. And they can't.
Might be. But you know, the thing is, the flags that are represented there, you had nothing to do with this controversy. So I would have expected to see a Guyana flag and a flag of Venezuela.
Yes, absolutely.
Seeing those two flags that we were seeing.
No, man, you see what they're doing? You see what they're doing? Nitpicking about what flag on the table and who sit on where. I said it's stupidness, buddy. I said it's stupidness. Not the fact that we have out of this meeting an arrangement to relax yourself until ICJ done. But who sit on where, who flag on the table, and them kind of stupidness. You see if we had a idiot like Coretta McDonald at this meeting here, we would have probably done there in full. War would have been in full swing
there. And like I said earlier, you know, persons were concerned about where PM Mortley was sitting. Very, very concerned.
Who persons? Who persons, Coretta? Hear this idiot. Barbados don't have a working relationship with Venezuela. Look the table size, Coretta. Oh, Christ. Not even everybody could fit at it. It's a little table. Oh, Christ, man. Does your issue? Right? People were concerned. Is you, Christopher Jones, Aubrey Norton, Amanda, and them, those who was concerned, nobody else?
Oh, you know, I didn't notice that before.
Yeah,
did you see that?
I talked about that. I said that I'm a conciliator, remember? And when you have, I'm not sure you're doing this, and we have conciliation meetings all the time. And you have the chair, and you have people on opposing sides. It is clear that Motley is on Maduro's side.
You see that? Mia Motley, it's clear from where she's sitting that she's on Maduro's side. Right? That is the kind of reasoning that is being put forward. I am sure these persons that who's running Coretta Show most likely a part of the opposition in Barbados there. So their assessment of this photo is not one that is non-biased. They don't like Mia Mottley. Coretta wouldn't like Mia Mottley because Mia Mottley said something that hurt her. The truth hurts. They don't like Rav Gonzalez because he tell him take your licks like a man. That's their main issue, right? So we can talk about this a little more tomorrow. We went 2 hours this morning, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the program. Making up for yesterday, again, I'd like to apologize for cutting the program so abruptly. Remember to be safe on the roadways. Listen to the police. Comply and then complain. Y'all remember, don't be like me. Don't spend out your 6% on the Christmas salary while January is coming. It is coming and it's coming strong. Behave yourself. Remember, it's all about peace, love, one Guyana.
Our soul.
True story. Here we go. We are a panicky people, grumbling we little grumble. Don't know really like trouble, just bump we come. But when TikTok sharing, voice note news we hearing, little smoke blow over, we barely coming down. Sharon shut the whole mountain, Chris Jones the PBT, a man's a laugh till she pee. It's just a calamity. Not one parrot wade, not one bird brain, not one Brian Max Cutters, Norton is another jackass. Hey, hey, yeah, truth, that's the truth, all the truth. Yes, man, come in the ring. Well, listen this. This land is only laugh now. Everything is a joke somehow. Anti-best ball like a cow, but never break. President Ali took a flight. This give all the people such a fright. Daddy beat out and left. We captain abandoned the ship. Sharon shut a whole mountain. The Jones got PBT. A man's a love the shippy. It's just a calamity. Not one parrot wade, not one bird brain, not one Brian Max Cutters, Norton is another jackass. Yeah, truth, that's the truth, all the truth. Yes, man. Well, listen this. We are a panicky people, grumbling we little grumble. Don't know really like trouble, just bump we come. But when TikTok sharing, voice note news we hearing, little smoke blow over, we barely coming down. Sharon shut the whole mountain, Chris Jones the PBT, a man's a laugh till she pee. It's just a calamity. Not one parrot wade, not one bird brain, not one Brian Max Cutters, Norton is another jackass.